case study, this time around talking about forging sustainable futures and community collaboration in mine restoration and beyond. Please welcome to stage the CEO and founder of OMI Solutions, Robyn Sally Mellett.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to walk around with a little bottle top, and I want you to remember this because it's really important later. First of all, I have really bad ADHD, so I'm going to walk, if you don't mind. I'd really like to say thank you to all of the Topco staff, everyone in the background. We do see the finer details. My team are very detail-orientated, and right through the day, they've picked up these really cute little things. So we'd really like to say thank you very much. Then I would like to say thank you to my team, who are sitting over there. We're a small company called OMI Solutions. So we're a team of environmental consultants and agricultural engineers. We have experience in 25 countries, and 42 employees, growing. There's going to be more next month. We have only been around for 5 years, and I want to take you on our journey. I want to show you what we actually do. So our name is OMI Solutions, Powerful Solutions, Gentle Delivery. Powerful Solutions, you don't really need to explain that, but gentle delivery is in our ethos. Our booth is right at the end out in the foyer, and you'll see we focused a lot on pollinators and the smaller insects, almost those creatures that have been forgotten. So we focused on vegetation or restoration of vegetation. But gentle delivery for us goes one more step further. To achieve the 2050, 2030 targets, it's really important for us to consider well-being of people. And we've worked right through Africa, and there's one thing that remains the same in every single country. I want to first introduce you to some of our heroes in Africa. On the left, in the very bright orange boykie jacket, is Christian. Christian only speaks French. I don't speak French. And if I do try speak French, I sound like Joey from Friends. So it is impossible. Christian does know his plants in Latin. So we communicate using Latin words. He is able to tell me just by walking through the vegetation where there's cobalt and copper in the soil. So he can basically tell geologists where to mine. His research is incredible, and he is incredibly humble. Next, in the yellow safety vest, is Ben. Ben is also Congolese, speaks really, really good English, and wherever we go in the DRC, he comes with. Ben is amazing because he always drags me out of the community and back into the bush because I get stuck with the children in the community. Then we have Eric. Eric, in this picture, we're actually in a woodland, kind of on the periphery of a secondary woodland and a primary woodland. And we're looking at seeds. So we're collecting seeds to propagate, to prepare for re-establishment. So when I come back to South Africa, a lot of people think, okay, this is what I do. I hang out in the bush. And I love it, and I do hang out in the bush. But we actually do a lot more. And I want to take you on a journey of 3 case studies. One is in 2018, I was in Afghanistan. I was based in Kabul. The second one is a project that we ran in Soweto, and there's a gentleman here from Coca-Cola who actually helped us with this project. And then in 2013, we worked extensively in Limbabashi, Kolwezi, and Matoshi in the DRC. These stories are not about the vegetation. It's not about the difference in religion or the difference in language. These stories are to remind you that it doesn't matter what country or where you're from, everyone understands the basic concept of family. So when I say I'm worried about my brother, my dad is sick, my mom is in hospital, all of us understand each other. So we don't have to have these long, lengthy discussions of where we're at. In Kabul, 2008, I flew in very naive, had these massive dreams that I was going to make a massive conservation difference in a war-stricken country. I met 2 other women. They very quickly became my best friends. One is from Finland, and she worked with women. So she taught women how to give natural birth without getting sick. The second is from Germany, and she worked with artists. So they were there to preserve the artistry, the woodwork of the people of Afghanistan. So we arrived, we had these dreams, we had these plans. Day 3, first bomb. We go into lockdown. We've been trained for this. We know what is going to go on. The thing that they didn't tell us is we're not going to be able to speak to our friends. We're in lockdown for hours. We don't know if they're still alive. Then that call comes. I'm okay. Okay, good. I'm okay. Okay, good. The next day we go to work. And Cookie used to love playing with the kids. In Afghanistan, it's too dangerous for them to run around the streets and play like kids in South Africa. So they used to take to the skies. And you'll see here, this is Cookie playing with kites with the children next to her office. So what they do is they lift the kites and they play across, but they don't leave home so their moms can look after them. And this was a game that Cookie would play with the next door neighbor from her office almost every lunchtime. So every day I would phone Cookie, how was your day? And she'd say, oh, that kid, I don't know if it's a boy or if it's a girl, but she beats me every day. Then it wasn't long after that. Kati was kidnapped. And the reality sets in. I'm here to do conservation, to save nature. And I can't think of it. I can't fathom it. I drive to work. We pass children in the street that are walking over rubble from the bomb the day before. We're watching little boys carry wood and all sorts of plants just to burn because it's so cold at night. But yet, I must tell you, don't burn that material. We have to conserve it. How? And I was so confused. What do we do? Next day, Cookie again plays with the kids in the sky. Then the one day she sends me this photo. The little girl that was beating her every day is this little beautiful girl. How do you not fall in love with her? She is incredible. But yet, I must say to them, don't catch the animals, don't eat the animals, don't burn firewood. How? I'm so confused about my profession. Soweto, 2019. Now, any of the Gen X's, think about it like Golden Girls. Imagine it, 2019. So we're in Soweto, very different ball game for us, more than 11 languages. We have an amazing gentleman from Coca-Cola who helps translate. This picture is actually a picture taken in the DRC. The thing is, when you go and you do huge public participation, day in and day out, you start meeting the people on the ground, and you start recognizing them. You might not know their name, they might not know yours, but you do start to recognize them. One night, late at night, we're at a public participation meeting, and a woman collapses. I phone an ambulance. They say to me, "Where are you?" I explain. They say to me, "We're not coming." I said, "Why?" They say, "It's too dangerous." In that moment, my heart sank. No one's coming. This person's life is not important enough for anybody to come. That night, the person who helped me was an illegal miner. And then I thought, how did I stop seeing them as human beings? When did I stop seeing them as human beings? This photo is in the DRC. And when you walk amongst them, which we did, there are children everywhere. They have left school. They've left school to make a little bit of money very quickly. Kuwezi, 2023. If you travel with me in Africa, I always have my camera, I'm always taking photos. I love taking photos of people. We're at an airport, I take my camera out and take a photo. Huge noise. I don't understand French, I know I'm in trouble, and they've come, and all I know is they're going to arrest me. That's it, I've taken a photo at the airport. This is the photo, it's quite famous in our office. A complete stranger out of nowhere calms the situation down. I do not know his name. I don't know the man who is an illegal miner in Soweto. I don't know his name. When we drive away, I think, thank you. How do I say thank you? Again, I'm confused. I'm in rehabilitation. We are focusing on restoration, growing plants, bringing back habitat. But how do we do this when so many people are struggling with day-to-day life? Okay, so a very clinical slide. If you are an expert in our field, when you look at these slides, on the right, that's an open cast pit and that's a waste rock dump. You can quantify it. X amount of hectares means X amount of restoration needed, very quantifiable. Very similar to ESG frameworks, XXXX quantity. On the left is what we call influx. When there's a mine, huge communities come into the area. Again, we quantify it. X amount of hectares, X amount of impact, we either have to offset or what we have to do. This is what other people see. This is what we see on the ground. So everyone thinks I fly into Africa, spend my life in the bush. To a part, that is true. But how do you not fall in love with the children that you meet on these trips? Sometimes when I come home, and I still struggle, we leave them behind. And we have all these solutions, but are we really considering them? On the right, or on the left, which way? the one with the charcoal. So that's a really good photo, and I was really glad I got that photo. And when I got home, I looked at it 100 times. That little boy is a teenager. That is his life. He looks tired. How many kilometers did he push that charcoal? And again, I think, oh, but I'm going there, and I'm telling them not to burn. How? How am I doing this without thinking about these people and these children? So we believe at OMI that the most important SDG is well-being and human health. We need to take their well-being into consideration first and foremost. Once they are healthy in every way, then you can go back and say, okay, please stop burning. So this is financial well-being, occupational well-being, environmental well-being, mental well-being. Do you know how many people we met in Soweto who had depression? All ages, women, men, they really struggled. No one was asking them if they're okay. No one was asking them if they need a hug. Connection and relationships, physical well-being. But what we do is we think we're going to have one blanket answer, grow a ton of vegetables, and they're going to be okay. They're not going to be okay. And until we understand that, we're not going to achieve our SDG targets. So what do we need to do? We need to bring back hope. The friend of mine that was kidnapped 4.5 months after she was rescued, well, she was rescued 4.5 months later, and I was the first phone call that she made. And I asked her, how did you survive? We were trained, but it's different. How did you survive? And her answer to me was, I might have gone to bed really depressed and really sad and not sure if tomorrow's another day. Before I closed my eyes, I'd hoped that tomorrow they would rescue me. So you must go to sleep every day with hope. So what we have to do is we've got to install hope back into these children's lives and not dictate what they're going to do. Find out what is their personality. They have these cute little personalities. You might want them to be a teacher. They might want to be a pilot, but they're not dreaming that far because they don't have the ability to dream that far because all we are giving them is a charcoal job. You're going to burn and you're going to make charcoal. So here is a fascinating and very inspirational story. This beautiful woman on the right, her name is Margaret. She is able to make these earrings from bottle tops. So my entire team are wearing these earrings. These are plastic, recycled plastic. Can you imagine going into a community where these girls that you pass on the road that basically go up and down collecting water and the basics, say to them, you know what, we could help you be a designer and maybe one day sell your earrings in New York. International trade. We have them. We have those innovators in Africa. Why are we not connecting them with the youth? Community-centric philosophy and action, skill matching for meaningful employment. And when I say skill matching, take the time to find out that child's personality. They're all super cute. And they really have these amazing ideas. The speaker before me, Kevin, said that one of the things that you need to do is... Now I lost my train of thought. Kevin, help me out here. You can't... Oh, no, it might have been actually one of the questions, the lady who asked the question. The people on the ground have the answer. They have the answer. We can actually follow through because they're there. They're experiencing it. So we have a lot of policymakers and people sitting in offices, but are you experiencing what they're experiencing? And most of them have the answer. We just need to help them. We need to help them understand business and how to connect between the boundaries. Education, skills transfer, economic diversification. For some reason, this photo always wants to make me cry. This little boy was fishing, and he followed me while I was doing work. I can't speak French, he can't speak English, but he was so interested in what I was doing. And I always think of him. I go to bed at night and I think of him. He might be a future scientist. And we've missed this opportunity because I don't know his name. I'll likely never bump into him again. But for one day, he brought me so much pleasure just by following me around. Art, expression, youth leadership programs. This lady in the yellow, she's incredibly beautiful in person. Her name is Princess, and she is able to make furniture, shoes, and a host of different things with recycled material. Why are we not marketing her enough? Why are we not speaking about her? Why are we not supporting her? And she is based in Burkina Faso. A speaker earlier today also spoke about building trust and fostering cooperation. For us to build trust, we need to spend time with these young innovators. We need translators with us. We can't just guess what they're saying. And we really need to allow them the opportunity to speak to us in their own language. The translation barrier for us in Africa is really difficult, and we've started to move with translators, and it makes the world of difference. So that's why our motto is powerful solutions, gentle delivery. Don't forget the people behind the project. Don't forget the smaller, more important things. And be gentle with them. They are scared. Be kind to them. Move in faith and move in kindness. These children photos stick in my head. When I go back to bed at night, I always think we need to connect them to innovators, to young innovators. We need them to give them a face so they know that one day they can be different. They can do something else. And I want you to think about this. Why is SDG 3 not the most important SDG for all of us? Thank you.